company, a payroll administration company, a third-party employer group called a PEO, a professional employment organization. They can reach inside our portfolio and say, yeah, I want to put that, Section 125 supplemental benefit plan fully insured into our offering. PEOs, as you know, right, since they are the actual employer and companies actually, rent or lease, or I don't know what the proper term is there, they get their employees from the PEO. So the PEO has the option of keeping that, $850 per year of savings or passing it all the way back to their employer group. And we have a lot of companies that are interested in both. So what's the point here? The point is, in the last week, I have been on the horn, on Zooms, on calls with CEO after CEO after CEO after CEO with big payroll companies. And what's interesting, these firms, some of them are massive, and there's tens of thousands of them all over the United States. In every major market in America, there is a huge competition for payroll management services. And it's wild. And we're bringing these channel partners or just partners onto our organization literally on a weekly basis, whereby they're bringing 5,000, 10,000, 30,000, 50,000 employees to be enrolled in these plans concurrently. And so when Mike tells you, he started the meeting today, if you were here right at the beginning, he said, hey, our goal is to be the single biggest health broker. And that's what Truemark Health is, right? Truemark Health is, in essence, the conduit for individuals to be able to have access to these products and services. Now, what's wild, Quantum is a licensed product. It's licensed in all 50 states. And unless you are a professional licensee, you cannot pitch and present this product. So we're improving the marketing collateral in order to make it easier to present. You're going to get trained on it in really deep detail today. But one of the beauties of this and how you can actually be compensated through Truemark if you're not licensed is the simple fact that there is an administrative fee in each of these Section 125 plans, which is actually allowed with our non-licensed referral partners as administered through Truemark Health. That's a really big deal. And so it's allowing us to be able to compensate our non-licensed associates by having access through Truemark/Quantum Health benefits. Does that make sense? And so, your opportunity is massive. Now, some of those big PEOs have, some pretty unique compensation structures also. And so, if you're going to find a company and they're going to bring 100,000, clients to the table, that could be a big, giant grand slam win for you. And, we have compensation built in for referral partners on that subject. But typically, the lion's share of the revenue is going to go to the company doing massive volume. So yes, there's compensation. It's obviously significantly reduced if the majority of it is getting paid out to our giant channel partner. And that part is going to be, radically improved in our training center coming up. We're very excited about all that. But let's talk about our speaker today. His name is Brad Renzelman. So first and foremost, Brad, I'm really glad you're here. Thanks for coming. Brad is the CEO of a software development company called Hanko Moss. And Brad, as a software developer and that company, he specializes in Section 125 and group health insurance benefits and employee benefits. They have been making underwriting engines for health insurers for a tremendously long time. And, he works on things like payroll integration and API communication from multiple systems to be able to allow payroll integration to occur from a third-party administrator back to the payroll management company. And so he provided our introduction to Quantum Health. And I'll tell you what, I could not be more impressed. I was on a Zoom the other day with one of the co-founders and partners of Quantum. His name's Jeff Kropholler. And Jeff will be our guest speaker next Saturday, by the way. So I'm very excited that you'll have an opportunity to hear directly from the manufacturer of the product next Saturday morning. And he's already a confirmed attendee. I'm going to allow that. And one of the things that is getting a little bit slippery right now, and I just want to plant the seed for all of you. I've had a few of our agents, some of you are on this call right now, that have actually reached out to Jeff directly and asked for a little bit of individualized training or to prospect your client for you. And let me just say here for the record, that is a taboo activity. It's not something that you can do. So please don't reach out directly to Quantum and say, hey, I got this client, can you pitch them for me? Now, the answer is absolutely, we can and will provide any and all resources that you need in order to ensure your success. But we just got to make sure that your prospect is at the minimum threshold necessary in order to book that Zoom with some of the additional principles. Is that fair? And so anyway, without further ado, I want to bring up my good friend, Brad Renzelman. This guy is a rock star. He's a great trainer, good friend, very experienced leader. And I appreciate you all being here today. Lastly, we are going to do a Q&A session at the very end. Yes, I've been deleting some of your comments just to be able to keep the team focused on the information at hand. And Q&A will be at the very end. So Brad, take it away. Thank you for being here, brother.
Absolutely. Hey guys, thanks so much for the opportunity. Thank you for every one of you guys for taking the time this morning to be here. The sacrifice that it takes to be available on 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I commend everyone for being here today. And I think this is going to be something that you guys are absolutely going to love and really participate in. I want to say a couple of things. We're going to spend a little time today. I'm going to give you guys some different perspectives of how to utilize Quantum, some of the health benefits. We're going to bring Jeff in next week, and we're going to have Jeff really walk through the plans, talk through some key aspects that will help every one of you guys be able to understand how this works a little better. So I'm going to leave the expert to happen next week, and we'll let that. But what I'm going to share today is a little bit about the Dreams organization. And I say this, guys, because listen, guys, I work with a lot of the top insurance companies. I work with lots of different distribution partners and across the industry. And there's something unique about what's happening with Dreams. And I say this in a couple different ways. And this is by the way, I met many of you at the last conference we had down in Carlsbad. Guys, you got to come to the next event whenever that's planned. I will tell you, I brought my son. We spent 2.5 days with the folks down there. And when you see the caliber of people that are coming, those that are attending, the other speakers that are participating, guys, you really do have something in this Dreams organization that is very, very unique in the way that you guys are growing, the way that you guys are progressing, the way that I keep seeing that the refinement in your systems continue to get better and better. I can't say enough about Kent and James and Mike. The leadership guys that you have leading what you guys are doing is top notch. And I say that because these guys are literally relentless. And we talk all the time. Like, I get a call at 9 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock in the morning. Thomas Litton, some of these key leaders that you guys have in your staff, these guys are here to make you guys successful. And in the things that Mike shared, I'm telling you, I think Mike's probably one of the best trainers I've ever met. He's commanding. He is a guy that's passionate about what he believes in. And I think, guys, every one of you will benefit from this leadership and what they are doing and how they're doing it. And I'm going to tell you, we're already having drastic effect inside of Quantum. And I'm just going to give you guys some high levels, things that are happening right now, just in the literally last 2 or 3 months, guys. I think that we've introduced Quantum. Number one, you are with the best 125 program. Guys, I literally have a file of the 12 to 15 different programs that are being marketed in the marketplace today. Truthfully, Quantum has more business on the books than every one of these companies. And it was interesting. I got pitched. I'm actually closing a big YMCA right now. Me personally, with a buddy that runs the organization. I've spent the last 5 months chasing this thing down. And guys, every one of you guys that have been in part of 125, these are not necessarily easy. And I'm gonna show you guys an easy path that's going to happen very quickly. Um, but the bigger the opportunities, guys, the harder there are, right? They take a little bit more work. They take a lot more meetings, conversations, getting everybody comfortable with these programs. The beautiful thing about what's happening in the marketplace is people are being inundated every day, every business owner with a new 125 program, a new 125 program, and talking with business owners, what's happening, and I will tell you, I think that's probably the best thing that could happen, because what's happening right now is the normalcy that's being presented in the marketplace. 6 months, a year, 2 years ago, these type of plans were very cutting edge. There was a lot of, I'm going to say, hair left out there because of some of the legislation that was taking place and not having clarity. A lot of that got communicated last year with the tri-agency. And so all of a sudden, there's more programs popping up. That's a good thing because the message is getting out. The opportunity for us and everybody that's on this team right now is you guys have the best program, and hands down. I spent time with two different vendors this week, them trying to pitch me about how great their plans are. And guys, they're just selling a wellness program. That's all those programs are. And nothing wrong with them, but I'm telling you, when you're able to go to a business owner and say, listen, this is the most compliant plan. It's approved in all 50 states. This is a fully insured indemnity plan that allows your employees to get these incredible benefits. And ultimately, guys, in a fully insured plan, we're able to save more money per employee than any other plan that's out there. And I'll highlight some of those examples in a little bit, but I want you guys to know you have the best program. There's no question we are not losing business to some of the other players that are out there. In fact, we are absolutely getting the top people to come over to us at Quantum because they finally understand there's one player that's doing this the best way. They've put the resources into the back end. Guys, as much as we all talked about the front end presentations, those are tough to get in the door. But once you get that person signed, that's like halftime. I want you guys to think about it. It's like that starts the whole process. And now what do we do to move these people through implementation and ultimately get those benefits established, the payroll cycles to run, and then ultimately for everybody to get paid? That's what you're getting with Quantum. So the technology, the investment that's been put into their back end systems, that is something that I see something as it from a technology standpoint, guys. You want to be connected to a wagon that's going to get there, that's not going to break down. And we keep hearing from multiple people that are leaving other programs, and I'm not going to bash anybody today. But the reality, when those people aren't getting paid correctly, when those people are screwing up payroll, that is the worst thing that could possibly happen to any client that's out there, is when that payroll gets messed up or delayed and those employees get pissed. So we know, guys, having the back end is more important to make these plans work seamlessly. The reality of creating that residual based revenue is something that is complete game changer in the industry. Guys, as Mike talks about creating, and guys, I came from a background in the life space. I built a very successful term life business in 2003 to 2010 until I sold it. That reality, guys, I missed the window of understanding the power of residual based revenue. I was chasing front end dollars and I was on the hamster wheel every single year. Yes, I was independent, but the reality, I didn't understand the power of the residual based revenue components that I can put a piece of business on and get paid for life. That is ultimately what Mike is preaching, guys. That's what Dreams is based upon, is how do we help create multimillionaires based upon doing the fundamental things every single day that gets us down that road. And I'm just telling you guys, you're at the right place, the right time, as we're doing this. As we think about Quantum, I want to give you guys a couple perspectives. And I'm going to tell you, this is all changing right now for you guys, for Dreams. And this is probably the biggest thing I'm super excited about. And I'm telling you, this change that we're going to introduce today, um, with Quantum specifically, is 100% due to dreams. Right. So we're changing and affecting the vendor relationships that we have with every partner. So the thing about Kent, James, Mike, those guys are sitting here not saying, hey, this is great, but they're going, how do we take great and become the best, right? What do we do to take our vendors and make our vendors better and creating more opportunities for the Dreams organization? So, guys, one of the things we talked about very beginning was, hey, Quantum is available for groups of 50 or more lives. Okay. And the biggest thing, one of the things that Mike pushed on me very beginning, Kent, James, the same thing, like Brad, we have to go down smaller lives. And Quantum truly was resistant in that entire perspective. But what they quickly saw over the last 3 to 4 months is the power of what Dreams is creating, the ability of your leadership team, the training that's going into your programs, the more people that are being recruited, the more opportunities that are being created. And so, guys, we went back over the last month and a half and been negotiating with Quantum to get them to drop from 50 life minimum down to 10 lives. Okay. So I'm telling you that right now, that is one of the greatest things that you guys should be experiencing today, is to say, hey, we've got a program right now that can go down to 10 lives, that is going to get you guys over the top. You're going to be in a position to present these plans in a fully insured product that is going to give you peace of mind, your business owner peace of mind that these plans are compliant. They're going to stay in the books. And guys, having that type of mindset gives you guys a ton of confidence. This ability to go down to 10 lives truly was due to Dreams, hands down. Like, without their volume, without their pushing to make this better for you guys, this is the opportunity. Now, Mike talks about, we're showing you guys those 400 lives, 900 lives. I'm going to tell you, I think the biggest opportunity that's in front of us right now is not going after the big ones, the 500 to thousands. Those are fantastic. And if you have them in your relationship capital, guys, keep chasing after those. We'll get them. Right. But here's the opportunity. Now that we can go down to 10 lives, you think about that we showed a statistic from ChatGPT, as Mike always talks about. Guys, over 4 million businesses are under 20 lives. So that right there is the opportunity for you guys to go after and chase after that small group. And I'm going to plant something in your mind. If I can take a group of 10, the average savings with Quantum is actually $853 per employer, okay, per employee, okay, which is about $200 higher, or about 25%, 30% higher than a self-funded plan, okay? And it's due to this really quick. I'm going to pull up this slide. Can you guys see my screen? Yep, perfect. Now I'm seeing it. It's due to the fact that Quantum has 6 different plans. So, guys, when you think about a self-funded plan, one of the key things, they go in there with one plan. It's typically a $1,200 plan. And again, you think about that, they're not able to go up to the $1,500 plan because there's not enough benefits that they tie into to justify that type of an expense from a pre-tax deduction. So when Quantum's coming in, we have the ability to capture a bigger audience at that $1,500 level. And at the same time, we have an ability to go down to $600 to allow that larger population of employees to be able to capture that. So we can go down to those part-time employees that are still going to qualify for these plans. So what does that mean for you and me? It means that I should say this. The first thing it's going to do for the business owner is, guess what? We're going to be able to take them and get more lives. So I'm going to give you a perfect example. I told you I've got this YMCA. It's 1,200 employees. Okay. When we run the census with Quantum, we get close to 623 lives. 623 lives. When I ran the same census against 2 other self-insured plans, 350 lives, 425 lives, we were literally able to get 200 more lives, which created another $200,000 of savings for the business owner. But think about what we just created. We created 200 more employees that were able to participate in that program. to get these benefits in front of them that will change their life. So if there's an accident, if they have to go to the hospital, if they need an ambulance, if they need coaching, if they need telemedicine, all of those things are provided for those folks right from the very beginning. So I share that with you. This is one of the key things that makes this completely different than a self-insured plan, because now we capture more people. So guys, I love when we're going up against some of these self-funded plans, because when we just do our census, we're going to come in better. Like 99% of the time, we're going to come in better. We're going to create the more savings. At the same time, we're going to, because of that, if I got an extra 200 more lives, guys, what does that mean to all of you that's on the phone? So write in the chat if you know what the answer is. If I give you guys 200 more lives, what does that mean for you? I'm not seeing anything in the chats. Am I missing it? There we go. Deborah, more income, right? Guys, that's a huge savings for you, for the business owner, but that creates more wealth for you, because now we have more lives that you're participating in revenue. So I'm going to share that with you guys right now. This is one of the key aspects of what the program does, is create that value, create more benefits. These type of benefits, when you're going back to the employer that I'm talking about, these individuals participating in, we're solving these big needs. So as much as we talk about the big programs, those are wonderful. Those are nice big tickets that creates a bunch of instant revenue. But guys, let's think about going back to that small business owner that's got 10 lives. If I can save that business owner with 10 employees $8,000 a year, what do you think that does for that business owner? This is the guy that's making 150,000, maybe 200,000 top line revenue on a small business. He's focused on running his business. He's focused on, he doesn't have the extra staff. He doesn't have the HR personnel. He's outsourcing so many of these different factors. But that small business owner, when I can say, hey, I'm going to give you $8,000, we're going to put right back into your pocket. What does that allow him to do? If I've got 10 employees, okay, $800 savings. I can take those $800 and provide group health insurance for every one of my employees and pay for it right by the savings we're creating for him. Okay. So think about this opportunity that we're about ready to explore and jump into. Hey, Mr. Business Owner, would you like us to help you save and create free insurance for all your employees? Does it make sense? Start thinking about that perspective, guys. We're providing solutions, not just from the 125, the health insurance, but now we open up the R&D. Guys, I had no idea until that meeting how powerful the R&D opportunity is through Dreams. I'm super excited about some of that stuff, because that creates a whole nother level of revenue that the Dreams organization is creating for you guys. But if we think about that small business owner, how many small business owners do you guys personally know or can go market to that would benefit from this? So I think about the bigger opportunity from now for the next 5 to 7 years is going after these small business owners that have 10 lives or more, showing them how we're going to create the insurance for their employees free of charge, right? Put the savings back into their business. That is the power of what we're creating, what Dreams is creating, what we're chasing, all of us together to go out there and do. So I just got to tell you, man, I'm more pumped than ever that we can now go down to 10 lives. I think so many of you guys have opportunities in that smaller space. If I can go get one business, that means I can go get 100 businesses, and very quickly, 100 businesses times 10, it gets us to a number that makes this incredible for you guys and gets back to that point of me creating that $7 million lottery winnings. That's what you guys are creating. And now we have the tools to go down after the smaller businesses, integrate it with the health insurance offerings that we're going to be doing. Guys, we're going to be doing some stuff in the health space, just as Mike talked about. We got Benefit Mall, a lot of that for the bigger cases. We got programs today for that small business owner, and we're going to be having some plans coming here very quickly, how we're going to be able to provide guaranteed insurance for those small businesses with 5 or more lives. So I can't be more excited about the smaller business opportunity. At the same time, guys, there's really big programs. As Mike talked about, this big PEO that was met with yesterday. I was talking with the Quantum guys. They're like, Brad, I can't believe how many big opportunities the Dreams organization is creating, which means that you guys that are on this call, you guys are doing the work to create this opportunity. So kudos to you. Keep that up. The fact that we can go down to the 10 lives, we're going to be able to really scale that. There's some things that we're going to be doing right now. We're talking with the Dreams organization right now, how to create a lot of the training resources for you guys. How do we create the opportunities for you, the non-licensed people, to create those introductions? We're talking right now, building an entire sales team that you guys will be able to tap into, guys that know how to pitch these programs. In the meantime, until that's developed, man, continue to engage with Mike, continue to engage with myself. We're more than happy to help you guys get in the door. I want to reiterate one of the key things that Kent mentioned at the very beginning. Guys, the quantum guys are very, very busy. They're running the organizations. They're looking at new things to make new enhancements. There's things that are coming here in the next 60 days that are incredible. That's actually going to make this plan even better. They got a new technology stack that's happening with the implementation, with a bunch of their back-end reporting that you as a broker will be able to access, as well as the employer. There's a crazy amount of stuff that's happening. So one of the things we're going to ask is that, and Jeff is one of these guys, as kind of the chief vocal point of their company. He is a guy that he works tirelessly, guys. Mike has experienced this. I've experienced this. He's available to jump in, help us close big deals. But one of the things we want to make sure is that you guys are not reaching out directly to Quantum. Number one, it creates a weird opportunity for them going, who is this guy from? Is this guy actually licensed? Is he part of the Dreams organization? Is this guy trying to go around the Dreams organization? So we're going to 100% request that nobody reach out to the Dreams or to Quantum directly. You guys funnel all of those questions. Hey, I want to get trained. I need help. That's what Mike's available to do. That's what I'm available to do to help you guys. We're going to, again, be putting these resources in front of you guys here very quickly, how to get involved with this, how to get the pitch points down. And again, I will tell you guys, most of you probably don't want to be the guy that's actually doing the pitch call. You might want to be the person that's just generating these opportunities and let guys that know these plans, they know the objections, they know the challenges that you're going to face. Again, as you get more comfortable, as you're presenting more, we'd love to have you and train you to make these presentations yourself. But in the meantime, guys, let's not wait for that. Let's just jump in. If you got opportunities, let's start talking to business owners. If there are 10 people, let's move, right? Let's not delay that. Let's keep moving forward. And again, our ability to come in, get those small groups on board, get them boarded, get them into implementation, and get those companies paid for very quickly is something that you guys are going to absolutely love. So, Mike, thank you, man, for all the hard work. Kent, James, you guys are just phenomenal. I appreciate you guys getting me on just to talk a little bit about this opportunity. Again, next week, we're going to bring Jeff back. He's going to talk about an overview of the plan so you guys get an idea, but we're going to dive into a couple different nuances, again, about the self-insured, fully insured, to help you guys get a better handle of that. But man, I can't be more excited about what's happening. And again, this ability to go to 10 lives, guys, is a game changer. And that really is 100% a result of what Kent, James, and Mike have pushed and prodded for. And guess what? Quantum guys have seen their ability to create opportunity. They're willing to do whatever it takes. They just hired 3 more people from an implementation standpoint. So they do not want to be on the side that they don't have the resources. So they're always investing into their business. I was on the phone with their TPA. TPA's added more customer service people on their side. Guys, nobody's putting the resources and the money into those programs to help you guys be more successful. So Kent, Mike, thank you guys for the time. James, I appreciate it very much.
Okay, could not be more excited. First of all, I don't want to act like a cheerleader, but woohoo! I mean, I'm so excited. Thank you, right? It's a big deal. Finding companies that have a minimum of 50 employees That takes 32 million businesses in America and shrinks it to, I don't know what that number is. I'm just guessing, like how many businesses in America, Chat GPT, have over 50, and, probably wipes out 75% of all employer groups in America. So it's a big deal. So let's just be really clear here, you guys. Truemark. What is Truemark? It is a brand, right? And the Truemark brand, which is in essence something that's building market value for y'all. And so that is the conduit into this space. The one thing that Dreams Business Resources will never ever do is be held captive by any of our product providers, right? So we are a non-exclusive organization, and we are so, man, we're crazy about not being controlled by third-party vendors. And we are crazy about only bringing you the best of 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 the best, period, right? It has to have the best tech, the best integrations, the best front end, the best back end, the most compliance, the most safety for your clients, the highest compensation. It has to have all of those things. So for example, in the chat, one of the questions is, well, hey, why, what is your deal with Champion Health? First of all, we love Champ, right? That has been our go-to product provider. So if you had somebody that only had 28 lives before today, we didn't even have an option. We had no choice. Champ allowed us to go down to 10. Did that give them a little bit of a competitive advantage in the marketplace? It did. And guess what? We wanted to level the playing field, right? And so you guys, I mean, poor Brad. I feel so sorry for Brad because beat the crap out of him. I mean, the thing, when he's not kidding, he's like, yeah, my phone rings at 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. His phone rings at like 5:15 a.m. from James, who never sleeps. And then, we were haranguing him at 10:30 last night. And so it was just about formalizing the contracts to make sure that we were actually able to deliver on this. So, Brad, I have a couple other questions. Can you tease us just a little bit more about, payroll integrations and, what makes, from a technological point of view, Quantum superior? How is it you alluded to all of this at the beginning. It's like, once the guy is enthusiastic about the savings and the benefits, right? And it's like, okay, let's do it. Well, like you said, okay, congratulations. You just moved the ball to the 50-yard line, right? There's a whole back end of this, which is very technical. It's very challenging. So tell us a little bit more about integrations, payroll, third-party administration, the technical details of these benefit plans, and what makes Quantum a superior strategy, and some of the things that you're working on to bring value to the organization.
No, absolutely. And Ken, you bring up such a crazy opportunity to think about. Guys, we all know that to make this magic work, it all happens behind the back end, right? Which is, how do we get a company, how do we get their payroll, and how do we get those numbers calculated so that we're taking out a deduction and then calculating the payment, the tax-free claim payment going back into their paycheck? And how does that happen in the same payroll cycle? So you guys know, think about from ADP to Paychex, Payvelocity, you name it, correct? There's over 500 bureaus, payroll bureaus that are in the industry. And the challenge is, how do we work with those people? So if you're a small entrepreneur and you've got ADP and you're like, well, I don't have a relationship with ADP, how in the world are we going to get that business owner to do any of that type of stuff? So the reality, guys, of us and the between Quantum and their TPA that services this, guys, they're building these connectors. They've got tech teams that are involved in the backside of this. So when we pull up a company like Paychex or any of the big ones that are using some of the big payrolls like UKG, Prism, all those back-end systems that all these payroll companies tap into, the integration of that software is the most important so that we're running the payroll, getting the payroll processed, getting the claim payments going back into the employee's paycheck so that there's never a decrease in employee's paycheck. That's the key. So Quantum and the TPA that services them, guys, they're constantly, they've got full-time tech people. That's all they do with all these integration partners. At the same time, I'm telling you guys, there's some really excitement things that are happening right now that that we're working on with Quantum. Actually, some of the relationships that have really came from dreams. There is new technology that's being implemented right now that's being programmed that is going to take our implementation from potentially being at 4 weeks or 6 weeks. And guys, we've got companies out there that in the self-funded space that might be working for 8 months to get an integration. Guys, we're going to be able to do that much quicker, much faster, and probably cut that down in half because we're going to be working with some new technology that's going to basically process the payroll data of an employee and the claim payments and all of those back and forth manipulations and using AI software to be able to integrate that. Quantum is sitting at the front edge of this. We're actually working with another software company that is doing this integration work that's going to make this more seamless, more integrated, and we're going to have this competitive advantage, guys. No other program is going to have it. So I want you guys to understand that our ability to execute, once we get that customer to say yes, we don't want there to be a delay of 6 months. We want there to be an execution that says, you sign that MSA agreement, now you move into our implementation specialist. And I don't care, guys, if this is 10 lives or 10,000 lives, it's the same process day in, day after, right? So we're going to get them involved. We're going to get the payroll integration started. They're going to be able to work with that small business owner, get that payroll data over, get it synced up correctly, quickly, and be able to turn that thing around in a much, much faster process. And I'm telling you guys right now, we're testing out the software on a 20,000 man group next week. Literally, they've had challenges getting some of that payroll data. We've got this new integration that's taking place, and we think we're going to be able to implement that thing literally within the next week and a half versus a structured build that typically might take 30 days. So guys, new testing, new developments, new technology that's taking place, and Quantum is 100% sitting in the cutting edge of this, guys. They're championing it. They're investing in it. They're paying for this to make this the best that we possibly can. So when it comes to our competitors, and again, not here to badmouth anybody, but there's no question in my mind, guys, now that we're down to 10 lives, this is the only play you guys should be focused on. And this is the opportunity for you guys to be with a company that's going to do it the right way. It's going to protect you guys and protect that business owner and ultimately providing these benefits for the employer as well as the employee that is completely game changer in the industry. So hopefully that answers a little of that question there, Mike. I mean, Kent, sorry about that.
Okay, I'm really grateful, right? And it's so important for us to be, with an innovator, right? And that's what's happening here. You guys are amazing innovators. And again, Brad, you're a CEO of a software company that does what? Integrations. And
Yep.
this is like the beauty and all of the moving parts between the company, their payroll, their employees, money coming in, money coming out. It's the reduction of the FICA tax to produce the net savings. It's like there's so many moving parts here. So think about all of this from our point of view, guys. So from Dreams Business Resources, here we have a big, giant, growing organization, and you got to make the front end pretty darn simple in order to teach and coach a whole bunch of people on how to prospect, starting with your natural market of, hey, I got a few of my buddies own businesses. And then, part two is, yeah, I'm interested in that. Part three is, okay, I need a census. Let's just talk about the census for a second, Brad. One of the things with a company that we had previously, in order to build out a pro forma, right? A pro forma means a forward-looking document projecting savings for the company and the employees. The census that we were required to capture, which is where we lost a huge amount of our prospects because the census was a nightmare. And when I say a nightmare, just imagine an Excel spreadsheet where you had to have all of the employees going down the left-hand side, but in the census data, there was 33 columns. 33 columns of data necessary in order to obtain a pro forma slash proposal of showing this is what we're going to implement. So, hey, Brad, what does your census look like? Do we have 33 columns of data? Or like how many columns of data are there? Like what do we need in order to actually get a census done?
Yeah. So guys, you need 5 columns of data, but we're going to change that up a little bit. So as much as we can get the census, that makes it a little quicker for us to do a turnaround. But the reality, guys, we can work with you guys to get a payroll ledger, which is a much easier report for that business owner to run on his software, whether it's QuickBooks, ADP, what have you, but a payroll ledger. And we'll be able to take just a PDF of that breakdown. We'll give you guys instructions of what that looks like. But at the end of the day, even a payroll ledger will be able to scrape the data and then present that impact report back to that person. It takes about a day and a half to get that report done. But guys, that's even a quicker response, Kent, to your dilemma, which is how do we get all that data? That's something for a small business owner. They're like, dude, I don't even know how to work Excel.
Yeah.
Honest, right? So guess what? Go into your payroll software, click this, run this payroll data, and export it to us in a PDF. And guess what? They'll take that data, put that in. We have the impact report. Now we quickly move into the MSA, the agreements, and now we get that person in. So guys, there's that's happening, Kent. At the same time, we're going to be building some software. We're actually building some things right now with Quantum that we're going to be able to give you guys tools that all those agreements and emails back and forth and all that gyration, we're going to streamline everything, guys, and it'll be in a streamlined portal that the business owner can create an account, sign everything digitally. All that data is inputted back into their private accounts. You guys are CC'd on every single thing. So the communication of knowing what's happening at every stage, you guys will have that communication, because one of the key things, you want to know what the heck's going on. And that is what we're after, is creating that type of transparency. So that's a bunch of the technology that's being worked on behind the scenes. And we're hoping to have that in May to release that, to show you guys this new path that will streamline all this even more so. I can't even wait for it, Kent. This is
and that just by itself, I mean, this one little teeny thing you just said, you just put it out in a sentence, right? So everybody's in the know all the time. It's one sentence. That is mind blowing, right? I know a lot about this subject. We've worked with multiple companies on this subject. There is no such thing. This is like black hole death for referral partners, because they never have any idea what's going on. They make a referral, then they're just absolutely locked out of the conversation. And then the next question is, hey, where's my commission? And they don't realize that, man, there's like all of these steps involved. And to be able to log on and see absolutely everything, I am completely stoked. And this is, you guys, just be really clear here. This is why Brad is an integral component of our team, right? This is called software integration at its absolute finest. Now, Brad, I want to get your opinion on one more thing before I shut up here. And I'm sorry I talk so much. So we have a dream score analyzer. And it's brand new, it's cutting edge, it's not available in the industry anywhere, it's proprietary to us. We're going to qualify for a fat R&D tax credit because we're investing so much time and money and effort and energy into creating that. And so the Dream Score Analyzer is a simple little Q&A for any business. How many employees do you have? And it just goes through the DREAMS, the DREAMS acronym, to be able to identify opportunities in funding. And are you overpaying for your insurance? Are you interested in getting $800 per employee? Would you like to have all these additional supplement? You know, people see all of that stuff. And so this Dream Score, as far as a prospecting tool to be able to sit with an entrepreneur, share with me your thoughts about our financial needs analysis, and particularly when it comes to, you know, our commitment to artificial intelligence, using our AI large language model communication. But just tell us a little bit about your feedback when it comes to the Dream Score and how it captures leads and captures the hearts and minds of our prospects.
It was funny, guys. I remember, it's funny, Kent. I've known James for a long time, and James is one of these visionaries that when he started talking to me literally years ago about this idea that he had and what you and Kent were thinking through. And I remember at first not quite capturing it because it's more concept at that stage. And now, as I got a chance to see this in Carlsbad, you guys have something that's very unique. And one of the things I walked away with, and I can't remember if it was Troy that said this, but this mindset of this, sometimes we all, as salespeople, we go in thinking that here's the product that's best for that client, right? That's the mindset. I look at my business, I don't see everything that's happening with that business owner. And I think, oh, the 125 is the right thing for him. This is going to be the thing that he's desperate for. And I think the thing that the Dreams does, that entire process, the algorithms, the mechanics that you guys have built, the AI integration, all of a sudden you open that door up to get that person to walk through, and what they're going to tell you is what's the most important thing to them. It might not be 125. It might be the R&D. It might be, hey, I need this self-funded, I need this health insurance module. I need energy. That was the thing that blew me away, Kent. When I saw your whole program, I'm thinking to myself, I, I I get stuck in a mindset, hey, this is what's best for the client. And what the Dream Score does is it absolutely unlocks the thing that's most important to the business owner. So we start there first, what's important to them. And guys, that's what you guys have created. That's the magic hint that Dreams to me sees and says, wait a second, let me attack the thing that's most important to them. Once we address that one issue, guess what? All the other issues come next because they trust it, and you've now given them a solution that fits them and their mindset first. And now they open up the ability for us to get it all. So I think that's, to me, Kent, that's what you guys have created. That's the magic of that. And I'm more excited than ever to see that continue to get bigger and bigger and better and better. And I know you guys are spending a crap load of money on it right now. So kudos to you, man.
Time and money, baby. That's like we're all restricted in life by time and money, and we are allocating significant buckets of both onto these projects. And yes, we're in version 1.0 of our Dream Score Analyzer tool right now. And, 2.0 is going to be better. 3.0 will be amazing. And so, we're just coming out of our startup process as an organization. And so even as little as we are right now, I consider us a pretty powerful behemoth organization. And I just want you to know that you can absolutely rest assured that our goal, and we're actually confident that 12 months from today, that we will have 1 million lives under management with quantum health benefits. 1 million. That is very substantial.
Yeah. And I will tell you, I remember you sharing that with me 6 months ago. And the reality, if you added up all of this 125 programs, I'm telling you right now, there's probably not 1 million lives on all of the programs.
That's right.
I remember you telling me this, and I'm like, all right, Ken. And truthfully, guys, I know what's on the pipeline right now from your organization, and we're approaching 400,000 lives of potential that's just, and it's real. Like, we're moving down this path. Guys, I'm going to be disappointed if we don't hit over 1 million in that next 12 months, because that is real. What's happening with you guys and what you guys are producing, the type of quality of business owners, it's game changer.
So last night, Mike and I had a private call. He said, we're going to have 1 million by this year. So I'm actually being really conservative when I said 12 months from now. Mike said by December. I'm like, okay, well, let's tone it down a little bit there, Turbo. So we're very, very excited. The one last thing that I wanted to ask you about, Brad, when it comes to Dream Score slash I Decide slash Quantum, right? All of those things really have one thing first, which is called listening to your customer, right? And you just hit the nail on the head when you said it's really about asking questions and then asking the employer group what's most important to them. And so that's our entire job, you guys. That's what I Decide does, right? I Decide asks questions and then gives people exactly what they want. And so I'm so excited that, our I Decide interactive presentations when it comes to, Quantum and Truemark. And again, Truemark's the conduit into health insurance also. And so maybe you can give us one more teaser, let's switch the subjects and just talk about health insurance for a second. Yeah. You can talk kind of at 100,000-foot view if you want to. And then, by the way, after you answer this question, I'm not coming back on video. I'll turn the rest of the time over to Mike and James to lead there.
Awesome.
Brad, we use Benefit Mall, and the reason that we like Benefit Mall is, who are they? They're the largest broker in the United States of America with 150 carriers. And we have a contract with them, which allows inexperienced people to utilize every division of their company, right? To outsource 100% of the sales, the onboarding. I mean, literally, we just trigger a referral and they'll pick it up and run with it, from implementation to management to on-site workplace enrollment to customer care, kissy butt to the HR manager, and all of they'll do absolutely everything.
Yep.
But it's not the only game in town, right? So tell us a little bit about what's coming our way and why, again, we're working with you. What's happening in the whole world of health insurance? What are the areas where people are mostly concerned, and what kind of solutions we'll be able to deliver in the near future?
Yep. No, Ken, you're bringing up such a great point. And I will tell you guys, there's something I appreciate about Dreams, and I'll say this again. Business owners in our space, correct? The life and health guys that are out there in the industry, you make a couple decisions. And Mike said it earlier. I'm talking to my PNC guy, he's got $500,000 of residual income. That person has to go ahead and build infrastructure, right? I got to hire more employees. I've got to have more case managers. I've got to have more, compliant people that are now contacting the client to get the data, all the stuff that from HIPAA management to the insurance, all that stuff to support an organization. And one of the things I love about the Dreams organization, guys, they're not into building the infrastructure, meaning that we need to have 100 salespeople or support staff to support your organization. We're going to best-in-class organizations in doing deals and setting expectations with those vendors to say, listen, we're going to flood you with more opportunity you can possibly get, and we want you to support all that infrastructure. And guys, what that means for you is what Mike said at the very beginning. You guys have the ability to play golf, to go on vacations. Your job is to get the people, get them excited, get them into the Dream Score, and let the systems do the work so that we can now export those opportunities to the right professional in the entire ecosystem. And again, the beautiful thing, guys, is this partnerships that we're building with all of our vendors. We're not here to, hey, we can do this better than the next guy. It's like we all work in tandem to make this stuff work. So when we start thinking about health insurance, we 100% have the Truemark brand for you guys to do this all under, but Benefit Mall is fantastic. At the same time, guys, that's a fully insured program, right? That means we're using all the top big insurance companies at the same time. We're looking at solutions, guys, that can do self-funded plans, right? For those small business owners over 100, 500, 1,000. Now we get into a whole different game. And again, it doesn't matter, guys, what it's going to look like. We're providing the solutions for that business owner that's best for them, save them money, create more savings, create more benefits for their employees. You guys don't care, and you shouldn't care. What you should care about is the teams that Dreams is creating and the vendor partnerships. When they get that lead, it's game over. Those are the best vendors in the market, and we're not playing around with people that can't deliver. It's all about the execution of that. So as much as we've got the big group opportunity, we've got plans today, guys, for the individual person, entrepreneur, that person that's looking for health insurance outside of ACA, that we now have plans that are available in just about every state that you guys can tap into, write that business as an individual. If you're non-licensed, you're going to refer it in. You guys will be taken care of from that standpoint. At the same time, what's coming here very quickly is we actually have group plans, right? That you're going to walk into that business owner with 5 lives or more, and you're going to be able to insure everybody in their company and get them on a group plan. We're not going to have to go through underwriting. We're not going to have to go, hey, give me a census. Let me get back to you. Let me tell you the price. We're walking in, guys, with a technology solution that you can sign a business owner up that day, put him on the plan, have his plan start on the first of the following month. It's going to be that simple. That person is going to be integrated. They choose the plans. There's multiple plans, multiple networks. So if you want Cigna, you want Anthem, you want PHCS, all of that stuff is being built and integrated. So that is the next game changer that's literally coming. Ken always gets me.
Say
Like,
it out loud.
I know.
Say it out loud. Make
I
a
know.
commitment.
Hey. When, Brad? When are we going to have it? So I'm letting you guys know. It is being fervently worked on with the vendors, with the TPA integration partners. We're actually working on another subset that we're going to tie into payroll companies to be able to provide this. And I'm telling you guys right now, Mike, Jim Sar, those guys have already been cutting edge in what's happening. We've got a big payroll company right now. Then when we pitch the health insurance that we have on this group side, because guess what? They work with all these health brokers everywhere. And all of a sudden we're coming in with solutions that are going to be 10, 20% cheaper than what the average small business owner can get. And they're fully insured. Guys, game over, right? And that's the stuff that's happening. So guess what? These big payroll companies are going, wait a second, can we tap into this as well? So multiple opportunities, guys, that are coming. And it can't get here fast enough. And we're going to be doing some trainings, probably not next week, but the following week, we'll be doing some trainings specifically on the current products that are available that for individuals. And we want to get you guys trained on that, answer your questions. We have resources for you guys to get contracted. All that stuff is in place, in motion, and literally within 2 weeks, we'll be ready to do a whole presentation for you guys about those plans that are available today. And we'll continue to give you more details on the group plans that are coming soon. So
awesome.
go,
Super
Ken.
awesome. Hey, Brad, we're proud of you, buddy. And I know we put a lot of pressure on you, but at the same time, it's like you just gave us a whole bunch of reasons as to why, because you delivered a bombshell today of taking it all the way down to 10 lives, right? And so I appreciate you and Quantum being able to completely step up to be more competitive, more than you even needed to, but you are more than competitive in the marketplace. And so I appreciate you being the best plan out there with the best compensation plan in the entire industry. You guys on this quantum plan, there's $30 per person per month, PEPM, per employee per month that goes into our compensation grid. And again, there's 6 tiers of the way employees get enrolled. So that $30 is what we call top tier. And, it goes down for smaller premiums, but it's like over 85% of employees on the plan are top tier employees in the $1,500 plan. So you guys, I could not be more stoked. Brad, you did a great job today. Thank you for helping co-host our event. And we're going to turn the time back over to James and Mike for conclusion. James, it looks like you're up, big guy. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Ken. Man, that was incredible training. Can you hear me right now?
Really well. And whatever you do, don't move because your audio is great.
Okay, good. Guys, I think the training today has been amazing. I want to focus on a dream score requirement, the dream score opportunity to really fast forward your business. If you look at our business model, we have the ability for you to get promoted based upon your cumulative sales. So if you brought in 3 people and they each did, 50,000 in volume, that would be a total of 150,000 in volume. And that's what would allow you to get promoted. The more volume you have, and to be promoted to an agency partner, that's our most important position. That's the cream position in our company. When you have an agency partner position, it means that you get spread on everybody on your team. And as a result of that, you now have the ability to make a spread. So if someone's at 20% and you're at 60, you're at a 40% spread. So if you take one of these examples of, let's say, one of these big cases that comes in where, maybe there's 50,000 in commissions, well, 40% spread on 50,000 in commissions, that's a 30,000, or excuse me, that's $20,000. So our overrides here at our company are the most significant of any company I've ever seen. But I'm going to share with you a new path. I don't want you to focus on production. I'm going to tell you right now, we're coming up with a pathway that's going to make you very successful. And the pathway is, rather than focusing on trying to make sales, focus on trying to get people fast started. What does that mean? Well, one of the challenges that we've had in Dreams is people coming in and being so excited about all the services and like all the money. Like, wow, look at all this money. Look at all these opportunities. And I think Brad explained a little bit of that. You think that this client is potentially going to want this particular product. Maybe the Section 125, or maybe maybe you think it's going to be R&D, or maybe it's energy. So you go in and you present that, and maybe it doesn't go quite as well. Maybe you said it the wrong way. Maybe they didn't understand it. And what happens is they go, oh man, I didn't quite get that. And if you go in with a different approach, all of a sudden you're listening and you end up selling more products. Well, guess what? There's a step that happens before that. Before you're actually going to do a dream score, which Mike is showing on the screen. And I'm actually telling you, I think dream score is the key, but I think the key is before dream score. Before anyone's going to contact a client, they got to feel confident that there's a reason to come to do a client. So one of the things we created was the ability for you to evaluate, what does your potential client, look like, and who's your potential client? Your potential client, you already know. That's the challenge that we got to face and realize. You're not looking for people you don't know. You're looking for a reason to contact the ones you do know. And so if you'll go into Dream Score, you'll go into your Dreams Cloud, there's a button that allows you to take all of your prospective clients. So you load them one at a time. So you put in one person's, scenario. It looks like Mike's going to show it at the bottom here. So if we scroll down to the bottom, there's a button here that says Link Vault. And the Link Vault is where you find this button. So we'll go there and go to our links. We see these different choices. Now on the links here, so scroll down a little bit. So these links here, one of them says prospects. Okay. And so if you hit that prospect link, now go up, it's the second one. So prospect, and I was talking to one of our reps about this. I said, so what is a prospect? I said, a prospect is anybody that could potentially be a client. So believe it or not, your reps are prospects. Okay. They're prospects for services that they might need. But I'm really thinking about business owners. So if Mike were to type in a business owner, and that's not really the core of my training today, but if he did and he put in a potential business owner of a mechanic or a doctor, or a person that is a construction builder, we would get a potential score. The potential score is not for anyone except you. It's what is the potential value of talking to that client? What could they potentially benefit from? How much could they benefit? Could they benefit 50,000, 100,000? And then how much would you benefit? Here's what I'm going to tell you is the absolute secret to your business. And we're making a big announcement on it right now. If you'll take the time to get with your brand new person and show them how to show the value of their people, the people that are in their phone, the business owners that they already know, the places where they eat, the places where they go get their teeth done, the places where they shop, those business owners, if they'll put them in there, that is the very first step. That gives them the roadmap. Says, all right, I definitely need to contact this person about Dream Score. And if they'll do that, if they'll actually take the time to put in their 10 prospects and then go and contact a rep for a dream score, excuse me, not a rep, a business owner for a dream score, I'm going to count that as one person fast started. So let me give you the qualifications very clear. Number one, you need to upload 10 businesses. Number two, you need to contact one business, just one. And you need to do that with your trainer. So you're not going to want to go out there and ruin your best business opportunity by not knowing how to do this. This is a trained facility. This is a trained system. So we use our experts like Heather and Thomas and Trey, people who've been experienced in talking to businesses for years, Tim Turbyville, and you just do one. Guess what? Now we're going to consider that person as having been trained. So not trained, fast started. It's like you've taken them for the first step. You've gotten them to see what the value of their market is. You've gotten to experience what a dream score is. From there, they're like, wow, that was easy. And my client is interested and he wants to buy some of our services. Guys, if you'll do that with every person that you bring on, I'm going to tell you, do not worry about money because that's how you're going to get promoted. So I created a grid. I said, hey, if you'll just do that with 3 people, we'll promote you. There's no reason why anybody on this call couldn't get promoted to their next promotion this week. So to get promoted to your next promotion, do 3 dream score, fast start 3 people, take 3 people and get them to go through that process. You could do it with each one of them in 30 minutes. Now, to get them to get a client to do dream score, there's the dream score example right there. So if you went through and, did this with a prospect, or excuse me, just you did it on your own, but putting in a prospect's information, you'd have a snapshot. So what I'm trying to tell you is that we're going to create a promotion opportunity in the next 30 days. For the next 30 days, we're going to allow you to get promoted very quickly. Instead of having to do production, do fast start of new people. So if you fast start 3 people, you get promoted from your 20% contract to 25. Do another 3. Now you're at 6. Go to 30%, all the way up, and we'll allow you to become an agency partner. Now, Mike's probably freaking out. What? You can get promoted from just fast starting people? Well, remember, each fast start that you do has 10 prospects. Each fast start you do gets 1 person to do a dream score. And part of that dream score is they have to click and meet with an agent. So in essence, it's at least 30 sales. Guys, I can tell you, if you get 30 reps trained and they each do 1 sale, I promise you, you'll do more production than anybody in this company. Who's our top producer? Trey Jones. Trey, I'd like you to comment on this. You do a lot of production. You work really hard. You make almost $100,000, it seems, every month. If you had 30 reps right now that had gone through that process that I just said, where they'd uploaded 10 businesses, then they contacted one of them, did a dream score with you, Heather, or Thomas Linton, what kind of production would happen? Would you make more production than you're doing now? Because right now you're doing more than anyone in the company, in my mind. And I'd like you to comment about that, because I was talking to you and Thomas about this. And I'm like, guys, we would explode activity because people don't know what they don't know. But when they go out and they literally see what their potential prospect's value is, and then they contact one of them and they let a trained veteran like Heather or Thomas, they have the experience that Larry did. Larry's first 6 appointments in the field on a dream score generated 6 clients. And so what if you had 30 Larrys? What if you had 30 people that you trained on how to do this? Now, the reason you don't have 30 Larrys is because you didn't fast start each one of them the proper way. You didn't take them into the dream score platform, show them how to show the value of that dream score, and then say, why don't we contact them? And that's exactly what Larry did. And he was like, okay, I guess I should start contacting. And then he didn't say, I know how to do this. He said, I don't know how to do this, so I'm going to watch Trey. I don't know how to do this, so I'm going to watch Larry. The biggest danger you're going to tell yourself is that you say you know how to do something that you don't know how to do. I hear it all the time. Well, I know how to do a dream score. I go, really? Who taught you? Well, I just practiced it. And I'm like, that's fantastic. I think that's great. I think it's great that you practiced it. I think it's great that you put that in. I mean, I really do. But I'm going to tell you something. It doesn't replace the need for live training. Get your confidence up, but set an appointment with someone to actually do a dream score on one of your clients, and you will learn so much. You will explode your business. So, Trey, would you comment on that? If somebody had 30 businesses that came from 30 different individuals that each had 10 prospects on their list, how big would your business be exploding right now?
It'd be monumental, because as soon as they saw those first 30 get closed, they're going to contact every single person that they had on their list, and they're all of a sudden going to find a whole bunch more people on those lists that they didn't know were there.
Thank you. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Is I'm putting together a chart for you guys. It's a 1-page. It's going to be the easiest way for you to understand your compensation. It's like, look, here's your points. Good. Go do what Trey did. Go put $1 million of commissionable sales on the volume and get promoted, or do it the easy way. Fast start 3 people this week and get promoted. Fast start another 3 people next week and get promoted again. And I was telling this to Thomas. I go, Thomas, there's no reason why every single person in this firm doesn't get a new promotion every week. Because if they'll just fast start 3 new people every week, which is easy to do, this is the easiest company in the world to recruit to. Every single person can join for free, literally upload their 10 businesses to see what the value of those businesses, and then they can refer them to a rep and get 50% commission and not do anything. So this is the easiest business in the world. But you know who makes it hard? We do. We make it hard on ourselves, because we go, man, I really need to understand R&D. Trey, how long would it take someone to understand R&D if they really needed to understand it well enough to sell it without help? How long would it take them?
I'll tell you right now, I'm still learning day in and day out on R&D. I wouldn't recommend it.
I think it would take a year. I think it would take a year to literally understand how to, how to really become an expert at R&D.
Well,
I
put
think it
this
would
in
take a year to learn
perspective.
how to sell quantum health. If you listen to Heather's story, she's like, I thought I knew it. I went out and sold it wrong. So you want to do dream scores, and you don't want to be the expert, and you don't need any training that you could do. You could set an appointment today and then watch an expert and then watch these sales come. So we're offering a really new way to get promoted. It's get promoted by getting 3 new people to be going through our fast start process, and it's going to really explode. Thomas Linton, I think you're still on and Heather's on. I'd love to hear from testimonials, but what would you do about what I just said right there? And I'm going to get ready to send this link out to show this promotion guideline.
Yeah, what I would say, team, is that this is a mindset change, because I was in your shoes when I started 6, 8 months ago. And I just heard about the products. I heard about this, and I got excited, right? I got excited about Section 125, and I spent all my time pitching 125s. And, I got some traction. I got some census. I got some census performance done. But this is way easier. I took time and I learned the product, right? But this is way easier, as opposed to me pitching something that somebody may not need. I'm giving them a free needs analysis and letting them choose what's most important to them. And so I've been trying to get to this million points, right? I haven't gotten there, but this is going to be a way that I can get there, because I fast start, every week. I do dream scores every week, right? And I'm doing them for you. I don't get credit for doing them for you, but I'm going to do them for you so you can get there, right? But this is the easiest way to get there, and it really puts the control in the hands of the clients. And you don't have to spend hours and hours and hours learning the products. You can. We still want you to have a good knowledge of some of the products, but we want you to have an even better knowledge of what the Dream Score does, how to set an appointment, and make some money. Let me turn it back to you, James.
Asset to the company. I'd love to hear from others. You mentioned all the people you're training. Would you share some maybe just quick stories of where you're experiencing what I'm saying with some of the people you're training and how you experienced it yourself?
I'm not sure if Heather's still on, and if she's not, let me show this slide right now. Mike, why don't you share your thoughts?
James, I believe you cut out. We can't hear anything.
We lost your audio, James.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
There we go.
So I asked for Heather. I don't know if she heard me, and if she's not on, then let's turn to Mike, and then I'll show this graphic right now on anything he wants to share, and then we'll wrap up and take questions. But I'm going to show this graphic in just a second, and I'll pull it up.
Hey, James.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Tim. I'd love to hear from you.
Well, while you're doing that, I'd really like Anna Maria to come on. We've done a few dreams appointments. We've had some good success. Anna Maria, is it possible for you to just talk briefly about the process and what you saw and how you feel about what we're doing today?
Yeah, I'd love to. Thanks, Tim. So what I am seeing is that going through the Dream Score is engaging the potential client in something that's going to benefit them. And then they go through and they give all the information, and then they get the report of where they could maximize efficiency, where they can reduce overhead, where they can have greater efficiency. And it's an eye opener. It's beautiful when you see the aha and the light go on in their eyes that you're bringing to the table something that completely could change how they work with their employees, change the structure of their company. We're working with someone right now that has 3 companies, and he was completely blown over after we did the Dream Score, and then we also did the R&D, and he was just amazed at the whole thing. So we're going to be working with him. That's going to be so exciting. But overall, the experience with the 2 clients that we've gone through that process with, it's interesting because it's not just a business proposal, but it's emotional. And I'm finding that I am developing not just a business exchange with somebody, but a real relationship. And that's where trust is exchanged and confidence is exchanged. And I think from there, the sky is going to be the limit. My dentist client, as a lot of you have already heard, she is so enthralled with what we brought to the table for her that she said, I can't wait to introduce you to my 2,500 dentists that are in my group. So it's pretty amazing start to finish of what I've seen so far. Thank you.
Anna Maria, great job. You guys, what she didn't tell you is, the money. We wrote about, I don't know, 50,000 or so target premium through the Gold program with one of her clients. We're doing R&D on both of those clients. We had an appointment with a PEO with one of those clients. What you guys will find if you're dealing with quality business people is that you're going to get 2 to 4 different programs to implement for those businesses. We didn't go in with a product specific mindset. We didn't go in with, hey, let's make sure we talk about this. We asked the questions on the Dream Score. We had a conversation as we went through those questions. And due to the questions that we asked while we went through those Dream Score, that helped identify the needs. The needs were, they had a 401k. We introduced a plan that we thought was much better than a 401k 401k. They loved it. They implemented it. We talked about tax credits. They all bitched about paying taxes. We introduced them to research and development tax credits. We're going to make David Hooley very busy. So the Dream Score is the coolest tool I've ever seen when you're talking to a business. And Anna Maria, thank you for that. That was a very honest, personal testimony from you. And just wanted to get that message out, James. Back to you, buddy.
Thank you. I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to send this little slide that I just created, into the chat so you guys can look at it. But let's go ahead and wrap up, Mike, and we'll take some questions. And I'm going to put this slide in there. And when it's in there, then I'm going to explain it.
Let me say this in closing, you guys, is that Trey and I did a 2-hour training on Thursday night because I do quantum, but Trey was on, and so we went into detail on R&D tax credits and how to fill out the application. I learned so much on Thursday night. It was 2 hours, but we spent a lot of time on quantum and a lot of time on R&D. I'm going to put that replay in the chat. So if you want to study the first half quantum and the second half R&D, or both, which you should, are two, stellar products. Me and Trey, I'll put that so you can watch Thursday night's training. But I want to share with you this income calculator, and I'm going to do it really quick, James, because I'm going to skip what I did the other night. On the Thursday night video, I showed how to make $1 million a year with quantum, $1 million a year with group health, and $1 million a year with R&D. You guys, and I think everyone on this call, if I did that, you'd think, gosh darn, I could do that. You would think I could do it because the numbers it's 5,000 on quantum, for example, right? And then I cut it in half to $1.5 million, 500,000 on each. And then I cut it in half again, okay, to make it ridiculous of what it would take to make $250,000 on each of those, right? That's 750,000 a year. And by the way, and so I'm going to show you the last one. I'm going to skip the 3 million, $1.5 million. I'm going to show you 750 real quick. It's 1,600 on quantum. You guys, that could be one sale. Is $250,000 a year recurring. Thank you very much. And it's a $5 million annuity. So you guys, 750,000 is like 15 million in annuities. So you got to make 20 million, pay the tax, and then invest 15 million at 5%. And you've got 750,000 a year, recurring income. Okay. That's hard to do. Save 20, make $20 million, right? But getting 1,600 on this, and then group health, what is it to get $250,000? It's 525 on a group health. Now that could pay more or a little less. I just have to pick a number because group health varies. Could be 30, 40, 50. I took 40. Okay, there's another $250,000. That's another $5 million annuity. And what would it take in R&D? In R&D at agency partner, which is why you got to go for James's offer, it's 2 a month, 2 R&Ds a month. And Trey's average is much higher than this, but we're just showing 350. At 350 average, 2 a month for a year, and you're at 300,000, not $250,000, because I didn't want to do fractions. That's 300,000 a year, 2 a month. You guys, and that doesn't include the fact that you'd make over $1 million the first year. You'd make close to $1.2 million the first year because you'd quadruple it. And somebody asked in the chat, what's this new administration is doing with R&D? They're quintupling it. They're 5-timesing the amount the business owner can get back. Okay, with the first bill that's going to pass Congress here soon. And so it's only going to get better. But you guys, 2 a month on R&D, 525 on group health, and 1,600 on quantum. And that's 800,000 a year recurring. I think you can squeak by happily ever after on that. And that's a $15 million annuity. You guys, anyone can do this. And I've never said that before in my other businesses. Anyone can't build a big insurance agency and do that. Okay. Super hard. It's not going to be easy here. It's going to take time, and it might take you a few years, 3, 4, 5 years, but it should take you 1 or 2 years to do that. You should do it for all your children too, by the way, while you're at it. Okay. Back to you, James.
So Mike, just in closing, you're right. There's so much money here and anyone can do it, but everyone's distracted with thinking they have to be an expert to do it. And it's literally the opposite of the reason we set up the company. We set up the company so that you would never have to be an expert. We never wanted anyone to have to learn how to sell. We never wanted anyone, we just, from a compliance standpoint, we didn't want to take the risk that someone would misrepresent any of these services. So we don't even allow you to sell these services. We require that they be sold by the experts. We more train on what not to say than what to say. You know, it like literally we should have an hour training and here's 50 minutes of what you should not say. Here's 10 minutes of what you should say. And literally, you know, your process is so simple. We make this so hard. So those that are actually just helping people realize the context they have and how to use the links to introduce it will absolutely explode their business. So this graphic I can't show right now, so I'm going to put it in.
I'm showing it, James.
What's that?
I'm showing the graphic.
Oh, you are? Oh my gosh. Great. Thank you. Let me look at it. So this graphic's not perfect and I'm going to correct it, but I'll explain what it shows. It shows that, you know, to get promoted to, you know, level 25, you get 25%. So these are our contracted levels. You move from 20 to 25. Now, normally you have to do like 15,000 in production to get to the first level, then 50. And I'll show all the different levels. To get to 60, you got to do 1 million in points. That's what Trey did. He's literally done $1 million in group commissions through him and all of his team. Okay, now he hasn't personally earned $1 million, but he's put those points on the system and he's earning incredible money. But I'm going to tell you, if you just follow the team thing, look, you could get promoted this week if you just took 3 people. Now, maybe it's 2 people that you personally recruited and 1 under that person. Just 3 people. I don't care where they are in your team. You got 3 people that go through the fast start. They actually put in 10 prospects. They do, it says here, 3 dream scores with 3 appointments with experts. So if they'll do each, you know, if they'll do that, imagine the volume that they would have. Next week, they do it again. This is not hard. This is the fastest way. And so I'm telling you right now, for the next 90 days, I'd like to see 1,000 promotions from our company. 1,000. I'd like to see people getting promoted. I'd like to have just, you know, every single week here's another 50 promotions, another 50 promotions, another 50 promotions. Hey, this guy got promoted, you know, to agency partner. You know, he's making $100,000 now. It would be impossible for you not to make 100,000 a month if you had 30 people on your team that had done all of their prospects loaded into Dreams Cloud, and they did 3 dream scores on each with 3 appointments with 3 experts. And I'm going to tell you, it's not hard. Now, it's hard if you're not going to get trained. If you're going to try and figure this out on your own, I mean, literally, we have people like trying to figure out how to do in a dream score when all you have to do is schedule an appointment on Thomas Linton, Heather's calendar, or Trey's, and watch them and go, wow, that was cool. And I didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't know how exciting it would be for them to start telling me about all the other services. So I'm going to make some changes to this slide so it shows the alternative. Alternative is points. Hey, you either do points or you train people to get started correctly in our company. Now, let's say you don't know how to do it. Great, use a mentor. We're not even telling you you need to do it. You want to know how to make the most money in this company? I'm going to give you the script right now. Hi, I'm new. I don't know how to do this, but I have a mentor that does. Let me schedule an appointment with him. That's it. The person who makes that call makes the most money in our company. The person who says, I know everything, listen to me, probably makes the worst. So literally, guys, get out of your own way. Find a mentor to help fast start your people. Keep recruiting. That's what Mike's always told you. Recruit. Mike has 1,000 people on his team he needs someone to mentor. Okay. So we can't let you mentor until you actually know what you're doing. So get trained by the experts. That's all I have. Let's open it up for questions. So excited about everything that's happening.
You can raise your hand and we'll take you in order, or since nobody does that I can see, hold on. Scott, you're first.
Hey, thanks everybody. It's amazing training. Thank you, James, for the new matrix chart. That's going to be very helpful because I just met with Thomas on Friday and got me all fired up to get my 10-10-10 going. But my question is about the new updates with Quantum. Am I correct in understanding that you only need 10 lives enrolled to be able to qualify for Quantum? Is that in effect now?
Yes, you're correct. And it's
That
10
is so awesome.
it's a hard 10, just so you guys know.
Got
9
it.
is not okay. So the owner doesn't count.
Oh.
So if they only have 10 employees, including the owners, it wouldn't work. So they have to probably have, 13, 14 employees, okay, to make sure we get 10 on the plan.
Well, whoever pulled that off, that negotiation, I salute you. That's a major coup on our behalf. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. ChatGPT helped me with statistics.
Okay, I'll be sure to thank it when I get on there next.
Yeah, thank ChatGPT for proving why they should listen to us. Okay, and next is Anthony Gambale.
I just want to tell a story. So I recruited someone here a few weeks back. Someone who's always looking for opportunity, and he just recently got burned in a big scam. And so we chatted. He works for a factory, right? He's in manufacturing. He's just a guy on the floor. And I said, let's talk to your manager. Let's move up. Let's see if we can get up to the C-suite. He was like super apprehensive about things. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to approach him. So over the course of 3 weeks of me just giving him confidence and having conversation, he finally talked to his production supervisor. This is in the headquarters. They have like 6 locations with big manufacturing company. And you know what the guy said? He said, I would love to hear ways that, you know, we could possibly save money for the company. Have your friend call me. So he texted me this, and I reached out to the guy, got his voicemail, but I'll reach out to him again. He has another friend. This guy is a friend now of his that again he was apprehensive about. This guy works for a paneling company, and they make paneling, right? And guess what that guy said? He said, "Absolutely, I would love to hear, what we could do to possibly save the company." So now he's like, "I know another factory that I have loose." This guy went from shaking in his boots to now getting some confidence. Why? Because he received positive response from those individuals because they coached him what to say and how to say it. He said he practiced it for like 2 weeks before I said in front of the mirror. So make believe the eyes you're looking at, which are your eyes, are his eyes, right? There's another person you're talking to. Uh, get a family member, a pillow, a stuffed animal, and it worked. So now we're going to have conversations with 2 manufacturing companies. The first one I know has 6 different locations, 4 in Michigan and 2 in the South, probably several thousand employees, and the other one's a little bit smaller, maybe 300 employees or something, like 2 locations. But don't discount your average people that you may know that are on the floor of an assembly line or a factory, and if they've been there for a long time, there's a good chance they know the direct manager or an upper manager or maybe even a VP, where they can make that approach and have that initial conversation and get that interest generated, and before you know it, you're off and running.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you. And thanks for all you're doing, because you guys, Anthony